But let's go to dollar yen. And we have an interesting situation on dollar yen. So dollar yen, we're going to start on here on the 4 hour. And if you guys remember earlier in the week, we made a prediction. We were trading right above this level, right up in here to start the week. If I get my little line thing working, right up in here to start the week. We thought we would make a push to 135 even. We thought we would make a push to test this previous level of structure. We actually tried to get a trading opportunity in there. You guys remember it. That was the one that came 1 pip away, or actually hit it, but we talked about wouldn't have been filled. And then retraced and then ended up breaking back up there. And now we're starting to consolidate, and we have 2 potential trading opportunities for you. Again, if you guys are watching on YouTube and it's glitching a little bit, I apologize. TradingView gave me some issues before, and that's why I stopped using it. Just wanted to try it again today. Got a question on TradingView. Can we do Bitcoin? You know what? I'm in a good mood today. We can take a look at Bitcoin after this as well. Let me know if you have a specific time frame you want me to look at it for. There's not a lot I see there, but if you give me a specific time frame, I can help you out with whatever your question may be. But you can see we're consolidating here on the dollar yen right up at previous structure resistance. We have 2 potential trading opportunities, right? We have a double top that formed. We know that a double top is a rejection of structure. We have our first test, which is the first top. We have our slight pullback after that. And then we have a retest and a hole, which is the second top. And the double top, right? That type of pattern, is that typically a continuation or a reversal pattern? Give you guys a little pop quiz action. Continuation or reversal? Right? Reversal, reversal, reversal. So initially looking like this, and it looks like the TradingView feed is bogus, which is going to stink. Well, looks like we'll stay away from that. So if we're looking for a reversal, right, we are at a pretty decent level to look for a reversal at. We've got some divergence on the RSI, right? We got some things setting up. The main question we want to ask ourselves is this, because this is extremely important. If we're expecting price action to reverse, where are we likely to reverse to? James says, I like how the second test was just the wick as well. Yeah, now I would like it more if the wick spiked past that level, James. But yeah, seeing the rejection is a positive sign. I would personally love the wick to spike past that level, really test the highs and everything funky that's hiding up here, and then give me a close near the highs. That's why it gives me a much better risk reward. But yeah, much better than a strong bullish candle that closes at the highs. We get a little signal of at least we see some selling pressure down there. But yeah, the question is, so if we're likely to reverse, where are we likely to reverse to? Mario says previous inside structure. So we're looking right here. And this is where the dilemma comes up, right? 2 things. 1, price has already tested that previous level of structure, right? So for some of you guys who consider this, I personally consider this, but not everyone takes it into account. Do you consider the move to have already been made? 1, because if the move has been already made, do you want to enter again? I'll leave it up in the air for you. 2, even if you don't consider the move to have already been made, is there enough profit potential, right? We can look at this right here. Let's say you're using an ATR stop, right? Or let's just do that. Yeah, let's just say you're using an ATR stop. So our ATR at the time of here is what? We're looking at about a 50 pip ATR, right? Our highs here are, whoa, look at that. 135.50 makes things perfect. So 135.50, 50 pip ATR makes our math nice and easy. We want to be above the 136 even handle if you're using a 1 ATR stop. If you're looking for a retest of inside structure here, you've got a risk reward that looks like this. Is this a risk reward that is in your favor or that you would like to have? No, probably not. Now maybe you can go down to the 1 hour, right? See this the same way on 1 hour. The difference on the 1 hour is that your ATR is going to change a little bit. It's going to be more in the 20s, going to split it by half. Now, obviously, you technically don't have a double top on the 1 hour, but even if we were to use this as an example, right, that brings that down to 70. You're still in a situation where you don't have a good risk reward. So I bring this up because many people will take a look at something like this. They'll see this potential trade setup. They will see that red candle forming, that red candle pushing lower, and what do you think they will do? By the way, for you guys on YouTube, are you seeing this? Is this thing, is it streaming? Is it frozen? It looks frozen on my end, but you guys can let me know. Type something in the chat. I don't think you're able to see it. If not, I'll just upload kind of this first part later if you guys want. But it looks like the TradingView experiment failed again. But you're seeing that big red candle form, and you're like, oh crap, it's selling off. The move that I expected, right? The move that I expected is happening. I'm going to miss it, or I'm losing pips. By it going down, all that's happening is my stop loss is getting bigger and it's eating to my profits. So what do? You sell. You rush into a sell position based off emotion, based off a period of distress. Okay, I'm gonna do this YouTube. I'm gonna shut it down. I'll upload this. I'll upload it later to the channel so you guys can see it. I don't think the TradingView guy is here either, so he didn't respond to my question about Bitcoin. So yeah, I will shut things down. I'll load it up later. We'll go back to the normal streaming platform next week. So apologies, gave it a try, needed to experiment with it, failed. But yeah, you have this FOMO, you have this fear of missing out. So you take the trade. And then you do analysis later. You realize, like, man, I'm not actually in a good position. And now you're faced with this interesting scenario where you have two choices. Right? You have two choices. You can either, well, let me ask you this. What would be the best choice to do? You find yourself in a trade that you're not supposed to be in. What would be the best choice? Close it out immediately. Get out right away. You made a mistake. Exit the trade right away. However, what do you think most people do? What do you think most people do? Especially if that red candle is still ticking lower. Pray. Yeah, you stay in it. You pray, you snort some of that hopium, and you just say, I'm going to go for it. So you got to do the full analysis before you ever commit to any type of trade. Because something that may look great at face value may actually not be a good trading situation. Now, so for me, I'm looking at the same area. I think Mario wrote this in. I'll be looking at the same area for targets. This inside level of structure, this little structure swap area right here. So this is going to be a no good trade for me. If you're someone that's looking lower, with your primary targets, maybe right here, 134 evens, that's a whole different story, right? Now you've got a lot of room for price action to go. So what I'm going to look for here is, I know there's not a bearish opportunity I can take advantage of right now. So where I want to shift my thought process to is, well, what happens if we end up violating this level, right? We're retesting previous structure. I would expect some type of consolidation to happen. Now, we do have news today, so we'll see if that breaks the market out one way or another. But we're at this nice little structure swap point. Our next key level of structure is up here. If we can violate this level, right, 135.60s, the next level I would expect price to go to is 137.40s. How can I get involved in this move right there? So that's the thing that I start putting on my radar. Because these are decision points. Whenever price gets to a level of structure, they're decision points. And I want to think, okay, if we hold, blah, 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 If we violate, yeah. I know that the hold, we're holding right now. We got the double top. We got the good setup. It just doesn't meet the other requirements, right? Risk reward doesn't meet. Stops and targets don't meet the requirements. So I can't trade that. So the next opportunity is to trade the one that comes a little bit higher. Now we can add on to this higher analysis and try to pinpoint an area. Maybe I want to go a little bit lower, right? We do have something else setting up here. If I take my Fibonacci retracement from this swing high to swing low, we've got a potential advanced pattern formation as well, a bat pattern, X to A and A to B coming up here. This is past the 618, below the 786, so it's going to be a bat pattern. We haven't seen a butterfly in a while. Our retracement right here, our lowest retracement was going to be our C leg. And, Gartley, sorry. It's Gartley. And our 127, because this one completes right near the 886. That's why I had bat pattern on my mind. Yep. Sorry, Gartley pattern because we hit the 618 and not the 786. Our 127, if we take a Fibonacci extension from our swing low to our swing high, our A leg to our B leg and back down. Why did I move it? Right where I had it before, because I wrote it in this morning for you guys. We have a potential, no I didn't, I actually wrote in the cipher on pound dollar, I didn't write in this one. But we have a potential bearish Gartley right here. So once again, this gives us two different ideas. One, if we are a trend continuation trader, we may say, hey, you know what? Instead of shooting for those ultimate highs up here at 137.42, maybe I'll be a little bit safer at 136.99. I'm glad you forgive me for only this time. I know someone's typing in already. 136.99, not a bad level regardless, right? Right below the even-handled number, the psychological number. And of course, if you're looking for shorts, you're waiting for price action to come up to that level. And then you're looking to short the Gartley. And yep, I'm glad you guys caught it. I was waiting for someone to say it. We also have, well, I'll just draw one in. I have one on top already. Your ascending triangle. I was wondering who was going to catch it. I'm like, we went over this yesterday. I wonder if anyone will see it. I know it's the exact opposite. Yesterday was descending, but I wonder who's going to see it. James was thinking, didn't want to say it. Nervous that you would have been wrong and been ridiculed and banned from the room for life. We would have stripped you nude and made you walk down the street with just an ascending triangle in your hand while we throw tomatoes and rocks at you. Shame.